It started with a text. A desperate message sent late at night, by a woman clutching her phone with trembling hands. "Hi, I'm sorry to bother you. I don't know who else to ask. My name's Emily. I'm a single mom, and I can't afford formula for my baby tonight. If there's any way you could help, even just $20, I'd be forever grateful." She hit send before she could lose her nerve. Emily didn't know that on the other side of the city, her message had landed in the hands of a man whose world couldn't be more different from hers. Nathaniel Carter. Billionaire. Business tycoon. A man who had everything except the one thing that mattered most. He almost deleted the message, assuming it was a scam. But something made him pause. The wording was too raw. Too real. And for reasons he couldn't explain, he wrote back. Emily's life had been nothing but struggle since the day her daughter Lily was born. The tiny apartment was drafty. The fridge was nearly empty. She worked double shifts at a diner, her body aching, but it was never enough. She had promised herself she wouldn't ask strangers for help. But desperation changes everything. That night, with Lily crying in her crib, hunger gnawing at them both, Emily took a leap of faith. When a reply came, she didn't expect kindness. But that's what she found. Nathaniel asked questions, not intrusive ones, but careful, measured. Was Lily safe? Was she healthy? What exactly did Emily need? Emily answered with honesty. No dramatics. No exaggeration. Just truth. And then, quietly, without fanfare, Nathaniel sent enough money for formula and groceries. Emily cried that night, clutching her baby close, whispering prayers of gratitude. Not just for the money, but for the simple fact that anyone cared. Days turned into weeks. What began as one accidental text turned into a thread of conversations. At first, Nathaniel told himself it was curiosity. A glimpse into a life so different from his own. But soon, he realized he looked forward to Emily's messages more than any board meeting or business deal. She was honest. Funny, even when exhausted. Strong in ways she didn't even see in herself. And always, her words circled back to Lily. She never asked for herself. Only for her baby. One evening, Nathaniel decided to test her honesty. "Emily, if I sent you $500 right now, what would you do with it?" Her reply was hesitant but clear. "I'd pay my rent. Buy groceries. Diapers. But please. I'm not asking you for that. You've already done too much." He pressed further. "Would you spend any of it on yourself?" The typing bubble flickered, vanished, then returned. "No, I don't need anything. Just Lily." Nathaniel leaned back in his chair, stunned. She hadn't begged. She hadn't lied. She was exactly who she said she was. The next morning, Emily opened her door to find bags of groceries, diapers, formula, bread, milk, even little treats she hadn't tasted in months. Her phone buzzed. Did the delivery arrive? Her hands shook as she typed, "That was you. Why would you do this?" "Because you said you wouldn't spend a dime on yourself. Everyone deserves a little more than survival, Emily." Emily pressed a hand to her mouth, tears streaming. For the first time in forever, her fridge wasn't empty. But Nathaniel still hadn't revealed who he really was. Emily knew nothing about his wealth, his world, his loneliness. Until one night, when everything changed. Emily came home from work to find an eviction notice taped to her door. Her knees buckled. Rent was 2 months overdue. She couldn't keep fighting like this. In despair, she texted Nathaniel, not asking for money, just confessing that she didn't know how much longer she could hold on. Minutes later, there was a knock at her door. She opened it and froze. It wasn't a delivery man. It was him. Tall, sharply dressed, with eyes she recognized only from the words on her screen. Nathaniel Carter. Her mysterious stranger was standing in her doorway. Emily's voice trembled. You're real. Nathaniel gave a small smile. So are you. Shock turned into panic. Emily backed away, clutching Lily protectively. Why are you here? Who are you really? He hesitated before answering. My name is Nathaniel Carter. I own Carter Enterprises. Emily's blood ran cold. She'd seen his name in the news. He wasn't just wealthy, he was untouchable. You're a billionaire, she whispered, horrified. Nathaniel nodded. Yes. But right now, I'm just the man who answered your message. Emily shook her head, tears spilling. I can't accept this. I can't be some charity project for a billionaire who feels sorry for me. Nathaniel's voice softened. This isn't charity, Emily. You reminded me what matters. You gave me something no amount of money ever could. Emily didn't know whether to scream or collapse. She felt small, vulnerable, and yet, a tiny flame of hope flickered in her chest. The days that followed tested them both. Emily wrestled with pride, fear, and the gnawing belief that she wasn't worthy of help. Nathaniel wrestled with guilt, trust, and the terrifying realization that for the first time in years, he actually cared. One evening, Emily broke down completely. Why me? She sobbed. Out of all the people you could help, why me? Nathaniel's reply was raw. Because you asked. And because you didn't ask for yourself. Everything you've said has been for Lily. That kind of love, it's rare. It's extraordinary. Emily cried in his arms that night, the walls she had built for so long finally crumbling. Nathaniel began helping not just with money, but with presence. He fixed her broken heater. Changed light bulbs. Cooked awkward dinners in her tiny kitchen. And one unforgettable evening, Emily placed Lily gently in his arms. At first, Nathaniel froze, terrified he might break her, but when Lily looked up at him with wide, trusting eyes, something inside him shattered. For the first time in his life, he felt what it meant to belong. Weeks later, Nathaniel asked Emily about her dreams. She hesitated, embarrassed, then admitted, if I could do anything, I'd open a little bakery. My mom used to bake with me. It was the only time I felt safe. I want to give that feeling to others. But she shook her head. It's impossible. Nathaniel's eyes softened. What if it's not? The next Saturday, he drove her and Lily to a small storefront. The windows were dusty. The for lease sign hung crooked. But Nathaniel handed her a folder with plans, designs, even a sign mock-up, Lily's Corner. Emily's breath caught. Nathaniel, I can't let you. You're not letting me, he interrupted gently. We're partners. You bring the recipes. I'll handle the business. One day, you'll tell Lily this was all because her mom never stopped dreaming. Emily sobbed into his chest, overwhelmed. For the first time, her dream felt real. Months later, Lily's corner opened its doors. The little bakery quickly became the heart of the neighborhood. People came for bread and coffee but stayed because it felt like home. Emily worked with joy, her eyes shining with purpose. And Nathaniel, he was there almost every day, sometimes in a suit, sometimes with flour on his sleeves, always with a smile that only Emily seemed to draw out of him. Lily grew, babbling happily in her playpen by the counter, adored by the regulars. And slowly, gently, something unspoken blossomed between Emily and Nathaniel. Not charity. Not obligation. Something deeper. Something like love. One evening, after closing, Emily sat at a table with Nathaniel, the bakery warm with the scent of cinnamon and sugar. "This place," she whispered, looking around. "It doesn't feel real. Like I'll wake up and it'll all be gone." Nathaniel reached across the table, taking her hand. "It's real, Emily. Because you made it real. I may have signed the papers, but this," he gestured to the bakery, "the flowers, the laughter, this is all you." Her heart swelled. She squeezed his hand. "I don't know what I'd do without you." His voice was quiet, vulnerable. "You won't ever have to find out." And in that moment, Emily knew, she wasn't alone anymore. Months later, on a sunny afternoon, Emily walked into the bakery to see Nathaniel sitting with Lily on his lap, reading her a story. The sound of her baby's giggles filled the air. Emily's eyes filled with tears as she whispered, "We're not just surviving anymore, are we?" Nathaniel looked up, smiling softly. "No. We're living." Emily leaned down, kissing Lily's forehead, then hesitating only a moment kissed Nathaniel's cheek. And for the first time in years, she believed in miracles. What began with a desperate wrong number had turned into something neither of them expected. A poor single mom found more than survival, a billionaire found more than wealth. And together, they found family. Because sometimes, the smallest act of kindness changes everything.